Hello, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I should say my name, but that's the title of my channel. Hey, it's Cimorelli. Welcome back to my channel. This is my second channel, and you guys probably know me from my main channel, which is Cimorelli, the band I'm in with my sisters. And on this channel, I talk about pregnancy, motherhood, motivational, inspirational stuff, advice, stuff like that. Today, I'm gonna talk about the things that surprised me the most about having a baby in like the first 6 months mainly. There was a lot. So let's jump into the video. Okay. One of the first things that surprised me so much was that this is, once again, I feel like I have to say so many disclaimers, which is so annoying, but I'm just gonna kind of skip that. But obviously this is my experience because I'm me and I didn't experience your experience. This is obviously my experience. That's my disclaimer. I got an emergency C-section, so that's what this is referring to. The first thing that surprised me was that I could not walk. Well, first of all, I couldn't really walk. That surprised me. But I didn't know this was gonna happen. I couldn't walk long distances for a long time. I had this vision, I talked about this in my last video, I talked about this in my last update video, I think, with Barrett. I had this vision of like, oh, I'm gonna have the baby and then just like rest for a few weeks, and then we're gonna start like going on walks with the stroller, because I was like, my favorite thing prior to having a baby was going on walks. Like that's like one of my favorite things ever. I would walk every day, and I was like, this won't be that different when I have a baby, I'll just walk with the baby. Well, Barrett hated being in the stroller, and I could not walk very long at all without getting like really bad symptoms. So I was pretty shocked that I couldn't walk. The next thing that shocked me was just how intense sleep deprivation really was. Now, this isn't the same for everyone, obviously, because we don't have the same child, and babies sleep like different amounts depending on who they are and a bunch of different stuff. Barrett was not quite the best sleeper. He was a very wakeful sleeper. Yeah, he didn't really sleep very much, okay? I mean, at some points he was waking up like 20 times a night. Okay, that is insane. Some babies don't even do that, but I got one that did, so it was a blessing from the Lord. And I was just shocked, like, at how that felt. I thought I knew what sleep deprivation felt like before. I did not know it was gonna be like that. I even experienced these different stages of sleep deprivation. It was like, the first one is like, just feel like trash. But then once it gets more and more, then I started to feel like this calm feeling. I wonder what the science is behind this. So I just feel like kind of calm. Then when it got really intense and extreme, it just started to feel like utter trash. Like I'm like living in a ditch every day, trying to peel myself out of that ditch to brush my teeth. It was quite painful. I was pretty shocked about that. I'm not in that place anymore, as you can tell. Thank goodness. Another thing that surprised me, was that breastfeeding was incredibly difficult and time consuming. So I just thought, oh, breastfeeding's so easy, just feed your baby. Not for everyone. No, it was so difficult. I shed so many tears. It hurt, it was hard, it was so challenging. I cried so much, and I didn't know how time consuming it was. Guys, I don't know what I thought, but when I realized that babies will eat like every couple hours or every hour and a half, I was like, what? And then I thought, wait a minute, I do that. So why would I think that? I don't know what I thought, like he was gonna eat like every 5 hours. I think I genuinely thought that, or like every 6 hours. I think I did think that. No, it was time consuming and it was difficult. I think the second time around will be way better because I actually know what to expect. But the first time I was just utterly shocked. Next thing that shocked me was I didn't feel very bonded to my son in the beginning. All I was used to seeing was all these like Instagram posts of like, we're so in love with our baby. He's so amazing. I've never felt love like this before. And I didn't really feel that in the beginning. A lot of you actually reached out to me and said you actually related to that and you felt the same way, and you thanked me for talking about it because you didn't see people talk about it very much. Yeah, I didn't either because I didn't feel that. I was so confused. It's not like I didn't feel connected at all, but I just felt kind of confused, almost like this like stranger was in my house and I was like, this is my son? What? He's like a stranger, but I have to like get to know him, but I like love him, but I'm also like confused, like I don't really know him. It was a weird feeling and it was very surprising to me. I think part of that had to do with my postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety as well, but I don't know. That was very strange. Next thing that surprised me, how I unintentionally started linking my self-worth with all of these different things and feeling like a complete failure when they didn't go well. For instance, breastfeeding, sleep, fitness level. Let me explain those. Breastfeeding. It was like, if this is difficult and if it's not gonna work out, because I don't know if it's gonna work out, then you're a failure. Obviously it's not true. But it felt like my self-worth would just go down and it would only go up if I could do well with breastfeeding and it would work out. It doesn't make any sense, but I truly felt like that. Sleep, I felt like such a failure because I couldn't get sleep. I couldn't get him to sleep. I tried everything. I felt like such a failure. Fitness level, because I could barely walk like 5 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. I'd go on like 5-minute walks and then I would start having bad symptoms. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. What's wrong with me? This is horrible. I was shocked by that. And I didn't realize like I would link my self-worth to all these things. It was like an automatic thing that just happened. I had to like really undo it. Next thing was how terrified I was of letting someone else hold or take care of Barrett. Now, a lot of this I think is linked to postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, which I'm gonna make a video on my experience with both of those. It was so weird. You'd think it'd be like, okay, let me just let my mom, who has raised 11 children, hold my son and I'll just like go relax, take a bath, do something because I'm feeling dead right now. But no, I was like terrified the whole time. Like, oh my gosh, what if she drops him? My mom, why would she drop him? What if she drops him? What if she doesn't know what to do to calm him down? Once again, what the heck? I was like freaking out. I thought I was gonna drop him or like he would be like unhappy with every single other person for 10 minutes. I was just like freaking out and I didn't think that was gonna happen. Next thing, I was so surprised that Barrett would not sleep anywhere except for with me holding him. So I'd be holding him all day. I would try to put him down and try all these different tricks and he would just wake up right away or he would wake up after like 10 minutes. And all I was used to seeing like in my childhood, and like on Instagram, on YouTube is like, oh, newborn baby, here's my routine. Okay, putting them down for their nap. That didn't happen. I did not get to put him down for his nap. I was literally, he was in my arms like the entire day. He wouldn't sleep. It was insane. He would not sleep anywhere else. But if I was holding him, he would sleep for a while. It was so crazy. So if you think about that, when was I gonna take a shower? When was I gonna make food? You can't hold him with one arm at that point. I was holding him with 2 arms. How was I gonna make food? How was I gonna do anything? I couldn't. That's, I think, contributed to my postpartum depression and anxiety as well. Like it was like a cycle that fed itself. Next is, I was so surprised at what stretched out skin really was like. Okay, so I got a tiny, actually it was just such a little piece basically of stretched out skin like in the middle of my stomach. And I have a really good way to explain it if you don't know what it's like. It is like if you take a balloon, like you pop a balloon and then you see how it's like kind of wrinkly, like a popped balloon. It was like that. Like normal skin is just like, it's like plump kind of. But a balloon is like, if you push it together, it just like instantly like collapses in and like wrinkles like that. Normal skin is not like that. That is what the stretched out skin is like. It was so weird. It's like becomes thin and like kind of wrinkles in. I actually don't like hate it or think it's bad at all. I actually kind of like it, which sounds really weird, but it gives me like a mature vibe. So I don't actually hate it, but I was really surprised, like, whoa, why is my skin doing that? That is so weird. The next thing I was shocked by was the realization of how much free time I used to have. I cannot believe I didn't like write 10 novels, write, you know, 5 albums, I don't know, read 20 books a day. Not really, but I can't believe I didn't do all that with my old free time. Like now I have to schedule like an hour to have time to do something while like a babysitter's here or something, and I get so much done in that hour. Probably more than I would get done in a day before, honestly. It's so weird, but that's life. All right, now I have a few last ones that are positive ones, because those were kind of like negative ones, but like, you know, what can you do? Here's some positive ones. I was surprised by how much I end up smiling every day. Like all day smiles basically, which is amazing. But in between the crying, you know, so much smiling that would like hurt my cheeks, but it's just amazing having this like little angel eventually smiling back at you and like getting to like raise them and show them all the things for the first time. And I don't know, there's so many amazing things. So I was surprised that I smiled that much, and still do, obviously, every single day. Next one is how mentally strong I would get. I cannot believe, like I can't even explain to you like how much mental strength I now possess that I did not before. How many incredibly difficult fears I overcame. Like I had really, really intense fears of like needles, blood. I was scared of sleep deprivation, honestly. I had a fear of being sleep deprived, being like powerless and not in control of my time and my day, losing my freedom. I faced so many of my biggest fears and overcame them. And I just feel so, it's so crazy like how much more mentally strong I feel now. It's so weird. That kind of goes in the next one I was saying, that I overcame my fear of needles and blood. I can't tell you like how strong those fears were. I had a blood test recently and I was shocked, like, whoa, I'm not having a panic attack. It was wild. And if you have that kind of fear, you know how much that means to actually be able to overcome it. It was insane. So that was pretty crazy to me. And lastly, I was really surprised at how little sleep I could actually do very well on. Before, if I got like 7 hours of sleep, I'd be like, oh no, I'm gonna be tired all day. It's just horrible. And I would like kind of freak out about getting 7 hours of sleep. Now I regularly get like 5 or 6 hours, which is so weird. And I do just fine. It's getting better and better because Barrett will sleep, but I won't. Like I won't be able to fall asleep when I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like working on that right now with a bunch of like nutritional things, which is cool. But I'm really surprised. I didn't know I had that in me to be able to have energy and do totally fine on less than 9 hours of sleep. I truly didn't think that was possible before. Well, that is there's probably a lot more things, but that's some of the things I can think of that like really surprised me in the first 6 months, I would say, of having a baby. I can probably think of more like later on and whatnot. If you want to hear more, let me know. I love seeing you guys' feedback to my videos because I'm just making things that I find interesting and I like to hear what you want to hear more of because sometimes I don't know. But anyway, subscribe to my channel if you want. You know, guys, I would love to get to 100,000 subscribers, which sounds so weird because my main channel has over 5 million, but I'm like, it would be so cool to have 100,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you want to help me achieve my goals, contribute to being a part of my dream, thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh, my leg.